But we have brothers who speak with law professors because the prophet says what? Go to those who know the law and ask under an intelligent tone, and you'll receive a favorable reply. Well, we took what you teach, Taj Tariq Bey, to those that know the law and asked under an intelligent tone, and we received that favorable reply that what you teach in a word is bogus. So this message is for you, your followers, your handlers. You cannot keep using these people are COINTELPRO card because we disagree with you. We're not COINTELPRO. We're not agents of any federal organization whatsoever. We are members of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
I mean, it's really that simple. You don't need no leader. You don't need no leader. If we pay attention to the prophets, if we really pay attention to the prophets, instead of what people keep telling us about the prophets, we've been free a long time ago. Know you the truth, and the truth will set you free. You ain't been free, so don't tell me you knew the truth. Not personal. That's why we're here, trying to get free. But I challenge you to challenge everything and anything that I say and prove it wrong. Don't say you don't accept, you don't believe it, I don't need anything exact. Prove it wrong.
Roll it down.
Did you read those?
I didn't read the whole thing. I can't read that fast.
Isn't it interesting? I'm learning the law and I'm just abiding by law.
Okay.
I'm from Oregon and Washington originally.
Okay. Have you ever been in weed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my name's on there.
All right.
But
Can I call you Joel?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I just learned about these laws recently, and I plan to get plates saying traveler for my vehicles I travel in, and for the vehicle I have that I participate in commerce, I'll get a license plate for that.
Okay.
But I have to also go get these notarized. I just learned about this law, I just learned about it, and I was blown away that I've been paying all my money to the DMV for no reason. Even you don't have to have a license plate when you're traveling to pick up your kids. But you're going to have a sheriff pulling you over, you're going to have a cop pulling you over to ask you.
Right.
You might get tased or a window blown out, but if we don't stand up...
Why would I do that?
Well, because you don't give them you don't have any ID.
Okay.
But you don't have to give anyone ID if there's no...
What kind of conversation have you and I had?
A lovely conversation. I'm enjoying your company.
Okay, do I appear to be ready to tase you?
Oh, no. I'm just saying it could happen.
It could.
If you had too many Red Bulls this morning?
Real quick?
Yes.
I don't like Red Bulls. I actually just talked to my son last night about Red Bulls. I don't think I do good on it.
Yeah, I seen you and I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
Too old, Joel.
I can't roll anyone anymore.
You and I disagree on which laws we all need to follow, but I have no reason.
You want to grab those for me? I have mango hands. I appreciate you.
Is there a mango?
Yes, you want one?
Mango. No.
We just went to the fruit wholesale. I'm trying to detox and go fruitarian.
All right.
I'm doing the vegan thing, the raw vegan. I appreciate you sticking to your oath, and you were sworn into the oath, and I am too. As living here as a being.
Joel, we have different views.
Of course.
That's all I can say. I'm not. You're not a bad person. Obviously, you haven't committed.
There's no
any
victim
crimes.
here.
Right. We have different views, and you respect my view. I'll respect your view. You're on your way.
I'm honored. I'm blessed to live in this country. I just got back from Southeast Asia. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. What are we doing there?
I was looking to move out of the U.S., but once I'm there with the monarchy, I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here and get back to the U.S.
The U.S. isn't so bad.
I still have some rights here, and it's very nice to have rights, I'm planning on starting a thrift store here now, and, hopefully it works out.
Right now.
What's that?
We guys headed right now.
Oh, we're going to go canvass this whole neighborhood and kind of just talk to people and, talk about the thrift store I'm trying to start. And
we buy people's junk sometimes and this and that, but yeah, look for garage sales and stuff,
All right.
Yeah.
So if you get calls about a green Prius, it's me.
I'll know you with the sticker.
Hey.
Right.
I love you, man. Take care. Wow, bro.
We just fucking
Stay humble.
Alright.
Alright, we're out of here.
And we got no mirrors and he didn't even give us a ticket.
Your teachings are bogus, and we're proving that this stuff is false. It's ruining people's lives. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. Now, in the recent interview, missive that Taj put out, message to his cult-like followers, people like Cujo and the Miracush guys, he states that if we're not teaching law and civics and enforcing the Constitution, then we're COINTELPRO agents. First and foremost, let's break that down. What is the law? We understand that law is the rules that govern a society.
Because you didn't expect to hear it, that's number one. And most people wouldn't have told you that. Because they want to play games with you. Because they're playing power games. Who's the boss? But when we tell you the science that they are using, it frees you. Because you're running the Moorish movement. Because Noah Raleigh said, come all ye Asiatics of North America and hear the truth about your nationality and your birthrights. You're not Negroes, you're not black people, you're not colored people or Ethiopians. Learn to love instead of hate. Learn of your ancient mothers and fathers, divine creed. I just gave it to you mathematically. Nothing can be taught in 1 minute. But I know them demons weren't going to tell you because they want you to honor them. Do you understand? Well, all of you are gods, and I told you and I showed you why. Do you understand?
These laws are broken down into statutes, codes, and ordinances, something that you don't believe in. You teach that these things are not laws, and that's false. A statute is enactments by the legislative body that are law. Look it up in the Black's Law Dictionary. The same thing with ordinances, the same thing with codes. What is civics? Civics is not teaching people that they have the right to travel. So do not travel without a driver's license, which is required by the states. Then make up a whole bunch of crazy nonsense as to why the United States of America is a corporation and that the states are somehow smaller subsidiary corporations. It's bogus.
No different from New Jersey Gas, New Jersey Electric, whatever, what's the electric company? Jersey Central Power and Light.
McDonald's.
They're corporations, but what their job is to do, or they say they do, is to provide a service for the public. They definitely monopolize the situation, but understanding this, we don't have a competition and option on what gas provider we can go to, because it's monopolized. It's a private corporation, but they got their hands in quote-unquote soon government seats. What means that they're getting compensated is they're pretty much the city government or government period, disguising themselves as a corporation, but really they're on a higher up level. But they can't say that because they will nullify their position. Because government is not supposed to get involved with these type of services. So they have to set up these private corporations within the corporation to provide services which they cannot directly be involved in. You understand that? That's why they set up DBA names and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because they don't want to directly be affiliated with the reputation of a service, but they got their hands in it some type of way. So you don't have a choice on where you can go because there's no competition to it. And if you try to set up, we try to set up our own gas company right now, we'll have some major problems.
They'll attack you.
It won't be just the gas company coming after you. You're going to see they're going to be higher ups coming after you because they all got their hands in it. That's another subject, but just letting you know where we're going with the state citizenship.
Islam, the brother man asked for explanation of the license plate that Lord Noble Nature El Bay sit here. So the response, the liability or the honor will be passed to him. But let me say this real quick about this one. This is one. This works. You have one that works, that's great. Let's stop saying his ain't no good because it don't have the iodine and the cream. Is yours working? You not paying excise taxes by getting one issue from the state, be grateful to Allah. Stop saying this one ain't no good because the brother from Ashbury put this one together and see what he did was the eyes separate. Is it working? Arrogance, man. I close with this. That arrogance, you gotta recall that we keep saying prophet Noble Jolly, prophet Noble Jolly. Praise Allah for our American-born prophet. But he told you specifically, these lessons are for all those who love Jesus. Now, if you want to see the argument about do this work, do that work, then look at the blessing that Jesus brought. When John came to him, they say, Master, we was rebuking that man down the street because he was doing all these wonderful things. And he was casting out demons in your name. And Jesus said, if he was doing that good work, then why did you rebuke him? You don't know everybody that's with you. But you can recognize with your arrogant self, myself included, when arrogance is at its meridian, you can recognize that irregardless to what a man doing or not doing, the principle is the same. The proof of his messiahship is in his words, works, and deeds. How dare you place attack on the good words, works, and deeds, Mr. Arrogant, ill-paid? If it's working and it's taking Negro, black, colored out the people, and they not breaking no law, I ain't talking about no ordinance and regulation, they not breaking no law, let it be. And be content with thyself. Remember thy own imperfection. You ain't the only one that know how to do something. If one of us had the answer, we wouldn't have. If one of us alone had the entire answer for all the sons, the 12 sons of the 12 ages, if one of us had the entire complete answer, whether it be applicable or not for the masses, but one that will subdue everybody, there would be no need for this lecture.
And duties as a citizen, not only in the municipality or city or township that you're in, but as a citizen of the United States of America. About this enforcing the Constitution stuff. Because they misquote Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Taj does it all the time. All of these sovereign citizen Moors, they misquote the man. So what we're going to do
Three weeks before it takes effect, the federal government officially filing a lawsuit today to block Arizona's illegal immigration law, a question of constitutionality. Who better to ask than the host of Freedom Watch, the hottest new show on TV, Judge Andrew Napolitano, the rock star, is here right now. So, Judge,
Emac, you're so kind.
Well, I'm just telling the truth. Judge, what do you make of this suit?
Well, there's a couple of issues here. The 14th Amendment empowers the federal government to bring lawsuits or to restrain by litigation the states when, in the opinion of the federal government, the states are doing something they're not supposed to do. And this Justice Department believes that Arizona should not be enacting this statute. Why, you ask? Here's why. In 1939, the state of Pennsylvania was trying to find Nazi sympathizers amongst resident aliens. So the state enacted legislation that said all aliens in Pennsylvania have to register with the state. Supreme Court said to Pennsylvania, you can't do it, because when the states formed the federal government, they gave away their power to deal with foreign countries and foreign persons. It's exclusively a federal issue.
It's called the Supremacy Clause, right?
Correct. Now, this is coming from somebody who is a staunch defender of state sovereignty. But if the states gave anything away, it is this area of dealing with foreign governments and foreign people. If each state could regulate immigration as it sees fit, you'd have 50 different immigration regulations instead of one.
Do you agree with the lawsuit?
I do agree with the lawsuit. I agree that the Arizona statute is unconstitutional because it wades into an area reserved by the Constitution exclusively for the federal government.
Now, what is Arizona supposed to do? I mean, most Americans, many the polls show, want the U.S. to secure the border first and then deal with immigration reform.
Well, Arizona can secure its border by the use of its National Guard and the use of its police. Arizona could also threaten to secede from the Union, and then it wouldn't have to listen to what the feds told it to do. A threat not likely to be carried out, but one that would certainly wake the federal government up to the following fact. No president since Richard Nixon has taken seriously the immigration laws of this country, because Republicans want cheap labor and Democrats want easy votes, and no one's been able to bite the bullet and enforce the laws and protect the border.
Do you think
that includes people as liberal as Bill Clinton and as conservative as Ronald Reagan?
Do you think it'll lead to what they're calling facial profiling?
Yes, I do, and that's another reason that I believe it's unconstitutional, because it will encourage the police to stop people on the basis of the way they appear, and the Supreme Court does not allow that.
Has that happened yet?
Well, the statute hasn't kicked in yet for another couple of weeks, as you indicated.
But are police officers doing anything along those lines?
Police officers do that all the time. That's why we have judges.
But I'm saying in Arizona.
Well, I have no knowledge of what goes on in Arizona.
Why bring it to, look at this lawsuit has already been teed up in the courts by the ACLU.
Now, that's a very good question,
why is the U.S. joining in on that?
There's 5 lawsuits. The federal government is sort of gilding the lily by jumping in on this. But I will tell you, federal judges take seriously what the Justice Department thinks about interference with federal law. So this will, not in an inappropriate way, put the thumb of the federal government on the side of the scales against this legislation. And whatever federal judge gets this will take note of that.
Then what happens if the Justice Department wins? And the other
then the state of Arizona will be permanently enjoined from enforcing the law. But here's what they're asking for. They're asking for a temporary injunction while the court studies the law. That will probably be granted, so that a year from now, some federal judge will say, I've decided it's constitutional,
so what
you
does
can
Arizona
enforce
do?
it.
I mean, it's illegal to not have, basically your registration papers
but
to be a
not
citizen here.
But it is not a criminal offense. Arizona has made it a criminal offense.
It's a federal law. I mean, it's against federal law to be an illegal alien.
Correct, but it is not a crime. You can't be prosecuted and go to jail for it. You can be deported. I realize that that is a fine distinction, but Arizona has made it a state crime to violate federal law. That has never happened in the history of the country.
I just learned, I feel like I went to Law School 101 just now. I just learned so much from you, Judge. I really appreciate it.
What do I love you, EMAC?
Well, thanks. Join the club. No, I'm kidding. All right, Judge, so great to see you. No, you're the club of one. The club of one being the judge. All right. Remember, you have to check out the judge's new Fox Business show, Freedom Watch, 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Saturday and 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Sunday. Next up, when push, really, the judge is, a fan base of one. No, I'm kidding.
Driver's license is a proof of contract to stop your movement or current or energy or money. The origin of the license comes from so-called slavery in America, when slaves were used for delivery services. The slave would get a job with the same expenses that the master would have to deliver to another master, plantation, or state. They would give the slave fiat script so it thinks it's getting paid and won't run away since it's getting paid. And then the license was used to regulate the movement of those scripts through the slave. And then if you go through the Christian black codes, you'll find out about that whole idea, right? Have you ever noticed that there are 2 different color license plates in Ontario for common people? Have you ever asked yourself why? Black plates represent the commerce, who's actually supposed to be having the license, and the blue plates are the fraudulent plates. And then you notice that all the common cars have blue plates, and all the buses, trucks, etc. that are engaged in commerce have the black plates. And also, anytime you have someone in your vehicle, car, conveyance, automobile, whatever you want to call it, if you have somebody that's with you, never call them a passenger, because passengers pay fares. That means you're engaging in commerce, which means you need a license.
Let's be real. These people are trying to read for you and trying to form a basis of logic in your own mind so that you can accept them for what they say on face value. But this is not what this man is saying. Let us continue.
Because the half had not been told. If he told you everything, you go back to sleep. So I got to give you a taste of it. You know and I know there ain't no way they gonna give you no complete lesson in no lecture. It don't happen like that. It never did, and it ain't going. However, I'll say this to you. Just give you enough to give some things that make sense to you mathematically, because I don't want you to believe anything that we said. I just gave you enough to recognize that you can go cross-check it.
Now, I'm a little confused about something. Your name, Oludara.
Yeah.
You don't seem, that seem like an African name. You don't seem African.
You know why I don't seem African?
Why?
Because I'm American. You know why I don't seem African?
Why?
Because I'm American. You know why I don't seem African?
Why?
Because I'm American.
Be free and free me your son. Now, I ain't gonna play no games of mystery with you because it ain't no mystery about it. And that's what the Moorish Science Temple is for. It is time to stop the mystery and free the people. Tell them the truth. And like the Nazarene said, don't you remember the laws that Allah gave Moses on Mount Sinai? How come you acting like you don't know the truth? How come you acting like we teaching something different? Except that you then fooled yourself with your bull and BS, and nobody had the nerve to tell you to your face that you got boogies in your nose. They call it religion. It's nothing personal, but get right. Turn your hearts back to your mothers and fathers, lest the earth be smitten with a curse. So don't tell me about these conditions. Get back to science. Don't be upset because I told you don't be a believer. I'm saying let your babies be the believers. You be scientists. Grow up and put the crayons away. Nothing personal. I mean, like a cold once in a while. Let's get real. And we respect and appreciate the knowledge come from everybody. But understand this. This is the way it is. I'm a soldier. I'll tell you like it is. I have no intentions for my babies or my grandbabies to become nobody's nigger slave no more. And I know, like the prophet said, you better be careful because some of your own brothers and sisters are going to try to put you back in slavery. We came here to Chicago, to Mecca, for the purpose of doing some freedom in this great movement of uplifting for all humanity. We don't want you to say, oh man, they said that very nice. No, we're not important. The movement is important. For you to be better tomorrow than you were today is important. For you to walk before them Romans when they start stealing your birthright and stand up on your square and start protecting yourself and your babies. For you sisters to be able to go get your men out of jail that these Romans are stealing in order to attack you. To see you have no security, that we mad at each other. Don't recognize the third-party demon.
Go ahead. Third-party demon.
Then you have your own telling you, don't talk to them like that. Yeah, because they slipping them a couple dollars in the back.
Watch out.
Agents.
And this is why Joel Lee enforced constitutional law, is because it's interchangeably applied. 9/10 denotes possession. 9/10 denotes possession. 9/10 is possession of the law. So whoever controls us is controlling the Moorish movement. Because the Moorish nation controls the Moorish movement. And if they have possession over us as being Moors, then they control the Moorish movement. We're not controlling it. Don't mean that we're supposed to accept that. What we need to be talking about is what can we do to gain possession of the Moorish movement. COINTELPRO has been put in place to counteract who controls the Moorish movement. This is why Drew Ali came back upon the scene in 1913. Because our flag was took down in 1774. Drew Ali also emphasizes that out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. A guide is a director, one who controls, or a controller. So this is why the Moorish Science Temple was put in place, to counteract that.
Who are sick and tired of the confusion that you are causing, and you and RV Bay Publications and Ravana or Rasma Raya Bay, whatever her name is, and Cujo, and now we enter these other names like Merakush, all of this UCC nonsense that these guys are still putting. We're tired of you people because you are besmirching the reputation of this reputable movement with this nonsense that you are teaching people. And we're going to keep challenging you all until you are either no more, never mentioned anymore, other than a footnote as the people that we had to squash, or your names as members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Bow your head in humility and join Prophet Noble Drew Ali's temple. And with that, say peace.
I'm not offended about any of this stuff. I'm thick-skinned. You know what I mean? Because I ain't in it for ego. I'm in it for a whole different game. You know, I'm looking head and back. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the next generation. I ain't even, you know, I can't be bought. Simple. Really. You know, and the deal of it is, I just don't take them serious. Because it's like this. This is what it's like. You know, excuse me just a minute. You know how like if you worked at a doo-doo plant for years, first year, first couple of weeks, you're really determining whether you're going to stay there or not, and you're looking for other options, and then, you know, other options aren't there, so you hang around for a minute, and after a while you get used to the smell, and then after a while you get used to the boots, and you know you start walking. You learn certain ways you walk and certain ways you don't walk, and this is the same thing with these guys. You be out there dealing with this issue for a while, and learning the real history, looking at COINTELPRO operations, looking at FBI papers, stuff that exposed, then none of this stuff surprises you. You're no longer naive. You know these guys are COINTELPRO, but you're not going to argue with them because they're still your brothers. You leave the gates open. You just try to liberate the people without arguing with these people because you know that they're on a mission.